Tell me when we're live.
You're live.
We're live. Hello. I don't know that anyone's here yet, but still hello, because you might be watching this back. So today I'm going to be discussing all of the questions that came up from my video about Quakerism and my religion and my religious beliefs. If you haven't seen that video already, it is down below in the description. You should probably watch that first before you watch this, because then you'll have a basis of understanding of the things we're going to discuss today. But I suppose you don't have to. I have asked people for questions on the community tab, which is on the channel, the main channel, and then there's a community tab up above. You click that. I post things like photographs sometimes and just nice stuff, and I like to chat and occasionally use you as my focus group. That's the thing. So I asked people for some questions and we're going to be answering them. And you can ask questions as we go along. Clara's going to be moderating.
Hi.
I genuinely thought you could like wave in front of the camera then.
Can I reach? A little bit.
That's her hand. She's also wearing a Paramore t-shirt. For those of you who just like to know what t-shirts Clara's wearing, as she moderates live streams. They're always emo.
It's a tradition.
It's her thing. Also, her hair is perfectly matching her t-shirt. She just had it redone. You can check that out on her Instagram.
Aww.
Evelina and Clara. At Evelina and Clara. They have really cool hair. There you go. That's it. Okay. Should we get on? Oh, one more thing. Two more things I forgot to say. There's a lot of preamble to this video. So the first thing is that if you are a sponsor and part of the Kellgren-Fozard Club, you can use emojis, special emojis that we have had specially made. So how do you get those emojis up? Clara?
They can see them.
They can see them.
If they click on emoji,
Oh, okay.
all of them will be on the top.
If you click on emoji, they will all be on the top. There you go. And you've got a picture of my face, a picture of Claude's face, each of the dogs, and a little Jessie in a wheelchair. Because that's fun. And the final thing before I actually get into the questions is that apparently there is a thing called super chat that I have only just learned about, really, where if you, Clara, hello.
Yeah. I'm trying to. Okay, I'll explain what I am going to do. You explain what you're going to do.
Okay. So Clara has with her a bag of poppers. Party poppers, not the bad kind, the good kind. And every time that someone sends a super chat, is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's called super chat.
Yeah, every time someone sends a super chat, she's going to pop a popper. Because it's fun. And we need to liven up a discussion on religion, although it could get pretty lively. We'll see. Look, I'm prepared for this discussion. Okay, are we ready? First question. Hit me.
Okay. Well, people really want to know about Quakerism and veganism.
Yes.
Right? Vegetarianism.
Okay, Quakerism and veganism / vegetarianism.
Hang on, there's just been a super chat? No.
What?
I don't know.
She's really excited for someone to do a super chat, largely so she can pop a popper on me.
No, someone became a sponsor.
Someone became a sponsor?
Welcome, Vicky.
Hi, Vicky. That is awesome. Is that our Vicky or a different Vicky?
No, it's Vicky Mills.
Oh, it's a different Vicky. Hi, Vicky. Sorry, we have a friend called Vicky. She's currently ill in bed. Maybe she's watching. Or not.
And now there's been a super chat. I'm learning, okay? Daniela just sent a super chat. Hi, thank you.
We are both learning. Go on then.
So
I know you're dying to do this.
I hope I do it right.
You're essentially making Clara's day. I'm really scared.
You ready?
Okay, go.
That was terrible.
Thanks. It's okay. You can leave it. You don't have to clean up.
No, I'm just bringing the glitter because it's fun.
Thank you. So that is what happens every time someone sends something on Super Chat. Right, to veganism. So what I'm holding is Quaker Faith and Practice, which is not our version of the Bible, but is it's kind of ways to live your life as a Quaker, but it's all written by Quakers, and it's a constantly evolving book. So as different people, different times happen and come along, and we change with the times, we write new things in the book and we take away old things, stuff that no longer applies to modern people because that's not a thing anymore. So, veganism and vegetarianism. I'm going to read you a section.
Can I throw one more? Because there's been another super chat and a new sponsor.
You go right ahead. You pop is. This is making her day.
New sponsor, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa. New sponsor.
No.
No.
Miss Luna. Sorry.
Miss Luna. Oh.
I was reading someone else. Sorry. I'm really sorry, Miss Luna. I'm so sorry. And then Brian D. really wants to see the popper happen, and then want to know when is the next time you will be streaming.
Oh, okay. Brian wants to know when the next time I'll be streaming is. That's a good question. I will let you know through the medium of Twitter. I'm too visual for this. Oh my god. This is going to be great. I feel like we should have had some warning at the start of this video. Warning for Jessica more than anything. Okay. Right, back to veganism. So, I'm just going to read you this section. 25.04, all species and the earth itself have interdependent roles within creation. Humankind is not the species to whom all others are subservient, but one above among many. Cannot read today for some reason. So there you go. And then further down, it's right that we should show love and compassion for people. Surely it is right that we should extend our love and compassion to animals who can feel fear and experience pain in much the same way as humans. They may not be able to speak, but we can certainly see fear in their eyes and demeanor. I feel that being a vegetarian is a natural progression from being a pacifist and a Quaker. Now, this is the viewpoint of many, many Quakers. I've grown up with a lot of Quakers going to Quaker events, and I'd say, a good more than 50% of people were vegetarian or vegan. I feel like veganism is more of a recent thing. I think when I was a child, it was much rarer to have vegans. That feels like the case, I think, in everything. I'm not sure. I think people just weren't aware of veganism earlier. Anyway, actually, I think it's because there weren't enough good protein alternatives. Whereas now with more modern food, there is. Personally, I'm not a vegan or a vegetarian, but that's largely because it would not be possible for me to be one with the diet that I have. I can't, because of my disability and medical condition, the things that I eat are very restricted, and I can't eat a lot of kind of grains, pulses, beans. I'm supposed to reduce my soy, but I love soy milk and soy yogurt, so that doesn't happen. I do try and make changes where possible. So like I said, the soy yogurt and the soy milk, and I try and have alternatives in that way. And I always have soy protein powder. So sometimes I will just use that as my protein in a meal rather than eating an animal. But I do try and always get my meat from good, sustainable sources where possible, and organic and free range, that type of thing, and try and do my bit for the world. It's quite unfortunate. I do think there's that you get into that whole argument. That's a whole video actually. Disability and environmental guilt. Yeah, that's a whole thing. But yes, many Quakers do believe that being vegan and vegetarian is just the right thing to do based on ideas of pacifism and sustainability. That was a long answer, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Moving on.
The next question is going to be from a super chat from Cass. C-A-Z.
Kaz.
Yes, Cass Avery. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering your name. But yeah, she made...
This is excellent. There's a Spanish girl and a deaf girl.
And she wants to know, if you weren't a Quaker,
yes,
do you think you'd want to participate in another religion or religious practice?
Oh, that's a really good question.
And I have to do this, sorry. It's necessary. Hey!
Ah!
Either one?
Yes.
It's a fashion choice.
Ah! Oh, it's hanging from the light. Okay. Hey, Charles. How you doing?
I'm so sorry.
This is just excellent. This is amazing. Can you guys hear Clara, by the way? Because when you repeat questions, I'm not sure whether I should repeat it.
I'm pretty sure I shout.
Okay. So the question was, would I be part of another religion, if not
Yes.
Quakerism, if I didn't know about Quakerism? That's a really good question. That's really difficult to say because I've grown up a Quaker. I think I would still believe in the innate goodness of all people. So I feel like I would struggle with any religion that puts people as not being equal. So maybe I could get into Buddhism. Maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe I'd just be one of those people who says that they're spiritual because they're looking for their religion. It's probably not a very good answer, but I think that's the only answer I can give.
Well, next one from a super chat as well. I might just slow down with the poppers because I don't have them many left. But Casey Lake wants to know if bad language is not allowed or is your personal choice.
Oh, okay. So things like swearing and whatnot. Well, Quakers are encouraged not to use language that could upset or offend somebody because it's not our place to do that. So obviously there's that. I think just as a child, I found swearing, I didn't like it when people swore around me, so I just decided to not do it. And now I'm older, I still have people around me who swear and I don't judge them for it. But I think now it's definitely more of a personal preference than it is from Quakerism, because I can see obviously that if my friends are swearing and they're having a conversation, neither of them are injuring each other with that language. I just choose not to. I find it doesn't work for me. It's not something that sits well with me personally, coming from my mouth, but I'm okay with it coming from other people's mouths. There you go. Next question.
Would you like to jump into ethical debate, science and creation, or one-on-one on being a Quaker?
All my questions. Okay.
I mean, there is more ethical debates such as abortion or homosexuality.
Should we could go straight to abortion.
Yeah, go for it.
Why not? Let me get to my section. Okay. There's a section for everything in this book. I'd just like you to know. Everything. So the section on abortion has it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it has 5 different testimonies from different people and their beliefs and how they live their beliefs. Now, they're not all the same. This is the thing about Quaker faith and practice. It doesn't say, oh, here's an ethical dilemma. Let me give you the straight answer. Enjoy. Instead, it has different people's thoughts and how they perceive Quaker testimony and the answer that it gives them. So I'm going to read to you. So the first thing it says is, there are many reasons why a person may consider an abortion. Friends in this yearly meeting have no united view on abortion in general, nor is there agreement on principles. Understandably, there's been little open sharing of experience and therefore, sadly, almost no public discussion amongst friends. As a result, many individuals face a decision without being able to call on practical and spiritual support of a gathered meeting or small group, without the help of friends in seeking the light. And then we have 2 personal accounts, one of which is from, I believe, a woman who's writing about, a member of my family became pregnant and a decision had to be made quickly within 24 hours. A baby was not intended, Neither of the young people concerned had financial resources. A child would affect the establishment of at least one, if not two, careers. I was the sole financial support of the family, so that I too could not care for a child. It was clear to me then, it was clear to us all, that an early abortion was the right answer. That does not mean that abortion itself is right, but that when human beings get into situations where every choice is wrong, then courageous and responsible decisions have to be made and the consequences lived with. Now, there's a very interesting thing. It says, in a sense, an unborn child carried for all of us the costs of being a broken family in a broken world. So this is obviously saying that abortion in that moment, in that decision, in that family was the right thing to do. However, then later on, we have a Quaker, she's a Quaker nurse, and she was asked to become involved in the procedure of a therapeutic abortion and was forced to decide. And her final decision, made after much heart searching, was to say no. As a result, I had to move to a less conveniently placed hospital, but my decision was accepted, and at no time was my livelihood threatened. Now, in her case, she had used the right to choose, but this left me with a dilemma. Where should I stand on another's right to choose to have an abortion? My choice was respected and my rights maintained. My responsibility had to be to respect another's choice and maintain their right to my compassion and understanding. So from that, we can kind of take that it's really up to you to make the decision. And it's a very difficult thing not having a clear way. I think it would almost be easier to make moral choices as a Quaker if they would just write yes and no next to each topic. But no. The idea is that we have to take from it the best way that we feel to live our lives. And like this nurse says, nobody judged her for not wanting to be involved in an abortion. So she felt that she didn't have the right to judge anyone else who did choose to have one. And I think that's generally what we can say is the Quaker ideas on abortion. That it's about people's right to choose whatever you personally feel or don't feel. So there you go. And I feel much the same, that it's up to everyone. I have no idea what I would do in that situation, and I have no idea who I would feel. So I can't say one way or the other. I've never been there. Okay.
LGBTQ plus.
That was deep. Okay, we're moving on.
That was beautiful.
I hope you're enjoying this, by the way. Do you feel like you are? I'm really enjoying just reading things out. Okay, LGBTQ plus. I don't even need to look in the book. I'm very gay and very married. Quakerism, Quakers in Britain. I was actually at the meeting. This is the wonderful thing about Quakers. We decide on things collectively. So we have a thing called yearly meeting, where every local meeting, as in every town and village, sends a representative, or more than one if it's a very large meeting, to Britain yearly meeting. And we all sit together and we decide on a topic. And in, God, what year was it? Oh, I'm not sure. It was in York, though. Quaker yearly meeting in York. It's terrible, I should know. It was before the legal passing of gay marriage in the UK, because Quakers were ahead of our times. I remember that. And we all came together and decided the Quaker view on gay marriage in Britain. And obviously, the decision passed, and we're all very good with that. But there are many things in here written about LGBTQ plus people, about how we, how we are all created the way that we are, that there's nothing deviant or wrong with people. They're LGBTQ plus, that we should not allow people to be discriminated, that straight allies should stand up if they see anything like this happening, that people should be welcomed. Very much about sort of love is love type of equality. In the Quaker marriage process, and I did say I would make a video. I was wondering if you were interested about Quaker marriage, and it seems like everyone is. So I make an actual proper video that explains it all to you, and the things that we say in Quaker marriage practice, because we don't have the vicar priest. Whenever we marry each other, we give ourselves to each other. And in that, You can use the words husband, wife, partner. I think that's it. Maybe there's something else. Oh gosh. I will read up again for that video. So you can choose whatever you would like to call your other half, and it does not matter what gender is on their birth certificate. You can use any of those words. There was also, I was reading an interesting thing to Clara earlier about gender, wasn't I? Let's see if I can find that. There we go. See, I really like this passage. It is not an accident that throughout the centuries, women have provided the core of Christian worship. Although, in order to fulfill the divine will at that particular place and time, Jesus was born as the son of Joseph, when he passed out of time into eternity, surely sex was transcended. Might we not gain also if the male image of the Lord Almighty were replaced in our imagination by a conception more in line with Julian's vision of the Mother Christ, the dual emblem of the mystery of created love? What I take from that is that souls don't have genders, which I quite agree with. I don't think that we do. I think we have bodies that have sexes, and gender presentations, but I don't believe that our souls do. Because I think when you love someone, sort of truly love someone, it doesn't really matter what their outside is at all. It's just all about their soul. There you go. It's a lot of me talking. Please do ask more questions. My goodness.
They are, trust me.
Oh. Sorry. You are asking questions. Clara's just not relaying them. It's all her fault.
So, as quickly as you can,
yes.
You have Bible, and is Jesus part of Quakerism?
Oh, like, do we use the Bible?
Yeah, and like, what's the
yeah. So generally at a Quaker meeting, you will see Quaker Faith and Practice is put out on the table in the center and will be on some of the chairs, so you can just pick it up. But there will also be the Bible in various different editions. Not all Quakers use the Bible, but I would say most Quakers do take lessons from the Bible. We're quite selective with it. And I think sort of trying to apply Quaker principles to the Bible. As in, we don't take the bits where there's violence and, one lot of people going against another lot of people, and take that as a wider message. I think it's more about the spirit of something rather than the letter. But I do have Jesus. Oh, I wrote this down. Here we go. Oh, there we go. So this is quite helpful. The Religious Society of Friends is rooted in Christianity and has always found inspiration in the life and teachings of Jesus. How do you interpret your faith in the light of this heritage? How does Jesus speak to you today? Are you following Jesus' example of love in action? Are you learning from his life the reality and cost of obedience to God? How does his relationship with God challenge and inspire you? Yes, seriously, Quaker Faith and Practice actually just asks you some questions that you are supposed to mull on yourself. I love that. It's so nice. But that's the kind of thing that we're taking from the Bible and from the story of Jesus' life, the idea of love and going against everything for what you believe is right. Trying to help people as best you can, even if it puts yourself at a disadvantage. Okay. That a good answer?
I think so, yeah.
I have to keep checking with Clara.
All right, let's get into bad people.
Bad people?
Because people really have trouble with that. Like, what happens with really awful humans?
Yeah. What happens with really awful people? Okay, do you want my personal opinion first, and then I'll give you Quaker Faith and Practice?
Yes, do that.
Okay, my personal opinion, my personal take on bad people. I know, like I said to you, I said in the video, there are no bad people, there are only bad actions. And I do genuinely believe that. I don't think that anyone is born evil. I think you can be born with an imbalance of chemicals in your brain that make you a sociopath or a psychopath. I don't think you're evil. I don't think that's your fault or your choice. The actions that you then take, probably not going to be great ones. But maybe that's also the fault of society that should have recognized something within you and stepped in at some point. You know that thing where they always say with psychopaths, like, oh, well, he did murder animals when he was a child. Maybe someone should have stepped in to stop that and get him some help. Sorry, I'm using him. That's very gendered. Yeah, and also, okay. So again, my thing with there are no bad people, there are only bad actions, is if we look at people who are diagnosed as psychopaths, something like 1 in 3 of the top CEOs of the world is a diagnosed psychopath. We did a study. It's quite interesting. Because those traits can either be used for very negative things, or they can be used for, I don't know if it's positive, but they can be used to your advantage in a way that doesn't necessarily damage other people. So does that give more of an idea about you're not a bad person, but the actions that you do may be bad? Does that make sense? In the same way that this is the one people always bring up, people always bring up pedophiles, because I don't think that someone can be totally blamed for having those feelings. They're just feelings, and they're also often unintended. What's the thing that pops into your brain?
Intrusive thoughts?
Thank you. Often people have intrusive thoughts about this type of thing. So they're not intended. They don't want that thought. It's just there. They're not a bad person for having that intrusive thought. Like sometimes I stand on the edge of a mountain and I'm like, what would happen if I just jumped off? I'm not going to do it, but I still got that thought. But that doesn't then make me a suicidal person. But then if someone does act on those things, again, my personal belief would be that they're probably not in their right mind. They're probably not mentally okay, and that they need some form of like looking after. Quakers tend to believe that prison is for reform more than it is for punishment. You're not putting someone in prison just to punish them. You should be putting them in prison to help them build the skills that they need to be a good and useful member of society. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Does that make sense to people? Good. There's more I can read in the book, but it's that kind of thing again, that prison and the importance of helping people.
Is there anything in the book you disagree with?
Oh, good question. Is there anything I disagree with?
Miley, send that one, a great sponsor.
Ooh. I think because most things in the book have a yes, no, and maybe answer, there are definitely things that I disagree with. I do struggle with. There's the idea in Quakerism that bad actions don't. It's not okay to do a bad action to get a good end result. So you shouldn't harm someone. You shouldn't physically get involved in a war and start killing people because you think that that will lead to a positive result for your country. So you shouldn't go against your principles to lead to something good in the end. But on the other hand, there's also the belief that we shouldn't have to, but we shouldn't abide by the law if we don't see that it is a good, if we don't think that it's a good law, which I struggle with quite a lot. I'm quite a law-abiding person. It's an example that I want to give you, but I'm trying to like strip all of the personal details from it so that no one can find who this is. Okay. In a Quaker meeting, there was a group of people who were protesting against a certain weapon that their country was creating. And they took this protest against this weapon from just holding placards and chanting and raising money and awareness to breaking the law, trespassing, going into this government site and damaging the property, damaging the weapon itself. Now, on one hand, you can argue that this is a really good thing because now this weapon can't go and injure lots and lots of people, even though the weapon was intended just to be kept as, you know, defense and not actually used. But it couldn't now be used. However, on the other hand, the government just fixed it. So, which they were obviously going to do anyway. So they're just using taxpayer money. Again, I don't agree with the government using taxpayer money on these types of things because it makes us all complicit. But that's another story for another time. And so they had to use more taxpayer money to fix this weapon, which is what they would have done anyway. And then also the people involved were facing jail sentences. And they said that previously in the past, Quakers have been jailed repeatedly for many, many times. When Quakerism first came about, George Fox, who was the founder, and his followers were often imprisoned because they, were in a religion that contravened the law. And they continued to hold their Quaker meetings, even when they were told, if you hold this meeting, we will put you in prison. And they did, and they took all of the adults and they put them in prison. And then the children came back and held the meeting anyway. And they were like, oh, damn it, they better put the children in prison. So they did that. So there's a long history of Quakers being put into prison and contravening the law for their beliefs, going against slavery, going against conscription, obviously, this type of thing. But I don't feel that that was necessary in this situation, but yet these people still used Quakerism to justify what they had done. See, so there's lots of kind of backwards and forwards in Quakerism like this. And it's quite nice that it's a religion that allows for very, for different people to interpret what they will from it. So yeah, that's the one thing that I probably have a difficulty with. I hope that was a good answer and was not just too long and rambly. There you go.
Great.
If you have more questions, please do come. Also, super chat, so then Clara can blow some more poppers because she wants to. Also, then I think it's easier for her to see your question because it comes up in a different colour. But I don't know.
Yes.
Because I can't see it. Anyway, hi. Thank you very much for joining me, by the way. I was slightly nervous about making the video about Quakerism. I sort of thought people wouldn't be very interested in it. But I'm really amazed. It's really interesting how people have sort of found it quite fascinating, which is good. I find people's religions very fascinating and people's stories. So I'm glad you do too. Thank you very much for joining me and for watching that one. Next question, please.
Right, let's jump in a deep topic.
Oh God, deep topic. More deep.
Afterlife.
The afterlife.
Heaven and hell.
Heaven and hell. It's my belief, I think, that no Quakers, yes. I think we don't believe in hell. I'd say most Quakers. There might be the odd one. But what I have been taught at Quaker meeting and at children's meeting is that there is no hell, because why would there be? Again, there are not bad people, and we are all redeemable, and we all have the chance to redeem ourselves, whether that be before or after death. So we do believe in the afterlife. Quite a lot of Quakers do believe in the afterlife. I personally do. I do believe in the afterlife. But there's no hell, because there's no hell, there's no devil, there's no temptation of an otherworldly kind that is driving you to do bad things. There you go.
Well,
Is
that
that
was
helpful?
way faster.
That was shorter than you were
Good.
expecting. Again, I could give you some quotes,
Well,
but that was the shortened version. There you go.
Let's jump into science and creationism.
Jumping into science.
Quakers and your personal beliefs.
Okay.
Shoot.
My personal beliefs about science and religion. Science is science. Science is facts. Science is real. Yes, I believe in science, but at the same time, I think there's always more that we do not know. There are new scientific discoveries all the time. So I think what science really teaches us is that there is no definitive answer to anything. Not really. The world and the universe are just one big open mystery. Was that weird? Yeah. You know, I mean, a stone's a stone, but is it a stone in this universe and the next, and parallel universes and distant galaxies? Who knows? Back to Quakerism.
Awesome. Yeah. What's the general view with Quakerism
The
and
general view with Quakers, if I can find it, is that just folding down the ones we've already done, is that oh, there we go, science. I literally just wrote it as science. So, it is often supposed that science and religious belief are incompatible. Indeed, a dichotomy does exist between some traditional views of God's interactions with the universe and science's perception of natural laws. If we only use God to fill the gaps wherever a rational explanation has not been found, God's role must diminish as scientific understanding grows. A God of the gaps is inevitably a rather small God. However, the immanence of God in our world may be appreciated through science as vividly as through the arts. Many scientists daily experience God through their work, in the elegance and sophistication of natural design, or in the beauty and harmony revealed in certain theories. The growing body of scientific knowledge demands a continuous rethinking of what is meant by creator, but our greater understanding magnifies rather than diminishes our appreciation of God. There you go. Basically, the idea is that science and religion have much in common, and that believing scientific theories, believing in the Big Bang, does in no way diminish the power of God, whatever your idea of God may be.
Sorry, I got excited because I get to throw up poppers.
Thank you very much. You have made Clara's day just then. She's very happy she gets to do another popper. Go on.
Just getting very
Go
deep,
on.
okay?
Go on. Well, it's too deep for you. She has to. There you go. If you feel like this live stream is getting too deep at any moment, please do feel free to let Clara blow a popper.
Well, it's because were you done? Did I totally interrupt you?
No, I'm done. It's all right.
Oh, okay.
That was it. Science, yay. God, yay. Not incompatible.
Way.
That was it.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
This is great.
A-L-T-H-E-A. Althea? Althea. I'm so sorry.
I don't even know what letter she's saying. She stopped even signing at this point.
Sorry.
What?
A.
Yeah.
L.
Yeah.
T.
Yeah.
H.
Yeah.
E-A.
Althea.
Okay.
Is that right, Althea?
I'm so sorry, I'm butchering it. But she would like to know, how does one become a Quaker officially?
Oh, well, that's a
Allow
long
me to do this.
process.
Whee!
Where's it gone? Has it gone up there again? This is amazing. Claude's going to come home and very much appreciate this. You know why? Because it's our anniversary. To anyone who does not follow me on Instagram or Twitter, and therefore does not know that, I met my wife 4 years ago today. It was awesome. We met in a pub called the Setting Sun, and we sat talking until the sun set. It was beautiful. And then we got kicked out because they were like, shut up and leave. And we were like, but we love each other. So then she walked me home and we stood on my doorstep and talked for an hour. And then she moved in because we're lesbians. Right. Next question. What was the question? I'm so sorry, Althea.
There were like 100 happy anniversary, and now I lost all the questions.
Hey,
so let me refer to
happy anniversary. Oh, how does one become a Quaker?
Oh yeah, you have to.
That was it. Right.
Like officially, like you
Officially,
are one.
How do you officially become a member? So a Quaker. Let's see if I can remember. I was 16 because that is the age at which you are allowed to officially become a Quaker. Or at least in my meeting, maybe different meetings have different things. Basically, there are Quakers around the world, and they do have different ways of doing things in different countries. Anyway, my local meeting that I had attended since I was a child, I wrote them a letter. You have to officially write a letter to the meeting saying that you would like to become a member. And then I told you about elders in the Quakerism video. So if you haven't seen that and you're just watching this for fun, hi. Elders are essentially people within the meeting who hold jobs. They're not more important than anyone else. And you can only hold the position of elder for 3 years, and you can only do it twice in a row. No one's allowed to get ahead of themselves, and you can't put yourself forward. You have to be nominated by other people, and so on and so forth. So you have to write a letter, and then the elders read it, and then they take it to the meeting, and they ask the meeting collectively, so-and-so would like to become a member. And the meeting says, yes, meet with them. Yeah, that's weird. You're kind of like, you're in the meeting. Hi. This is funny. And then they send some elders to your house. Had two lovely elders. By the way, at the time, my mother was also an elder, but obviously she couldn't do it because I'm her child. So she had to send 2 other people.
For reference, how old do you have to be an elder?
Oh, I'm so sorry. No, being an elder is in no way related to your age.
Oh,
I could be an elder right now if someone nominated me.
Proceed.
Yeah, you don't have to be old to be an elder. You just have to have a good working knowledge of Quakerism. So you can't be that fresh. You have to be a member as well. A member who knows stuff. And then 2 elders come to your house. You have a conversation. They ask you things. Since I was a teenager, they asked me things about how I reconcile being a Quaker with my friends' teenage drinking, and like how I would handle dating as a Quaker, and the big questions. And they do, it goes deep. It goes very deep. Much as ow! Sorry, cramp. Ow! Oh! Okay. Hi. Okay. Wait, I'm coming back. Can you still see me if I sit here?
I'll rise it a bit.
Hi, I'm just going to massage my foot whilst we continue this conversation. Oh, that hurts so bad. I occasionally get cramp. Terrible cramp in my limbs. Oh, that's so painful. Right. Exciting times, I know, on this live stream. Oh, yeah. Anything could happen. You just don't know. Good times. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, my God. Sorry. We're just enjoying some nice cold Diet Coke for a minute. Oh, cramp. Oh, boy. Oh.
Everyone is concerned. Reassuring them.
It's all right. Don't panic. This happens. Okay. Oh, right.
Walter is like running around like someone
Walter's
doesn't.
panicking right now. It's okay, darling. Go and sit in your bed. Good boy. Good boy. Don't worry. Right, so two people come to your house, they ask you things, much like when Claude and I had a Quaker wedding. You meet beforehand with the elders of the meeting that you're going to get married at, and they ask you various very searching questions about Quakerism in your life and how you will work Quakerism into it, or how Quakerism has already been worked into your life. And then they take from this conversation and they take it back to the meeting for business, which is a different kind of meeting to the meeting for worship. Meeting for worship is where it happens every Sunday. We all sort of, I explained in the video, you can sit around, and it's our idea of a church service, kind of how that works. But then meeting for business happens probably once a month, and it happens after meeting for worship, and we use Quaker business practice. That's another video as well, because that's deep. But basically, business decisions are made by silence as well. So someone will put a proposition forward, everyone sits in silence. It's then discussed by one person standing up and ministering and then sitting down, more silence, someone else stands up, gives their point of view. It can take a while for stuff to get decided. And then at meeting for business, on the first meeting for business that happens after the elders have had the meeting with you and they feel they've had time to think about it, they will bring your application to become a member of that particular meeting to the whole meeting. And then say, so-and-so would like to become a member. Is this agreed upon? And we will say, hope so, rather than yes. Hope so. Hope so. And yes, that's then how you become a member, I believe. There you go. Oh, someone asked what the difference is between an attender and a visitor. An attender is just someone who is known to the meeting. So you would come for a number of years. You probably would get involved in social occasions with other Quakers. And generally attenders are kind of family members of someone. People become attenders and then they become members, but you're not given some kind of special plaque that you're an attender. And attenders are allowed at most meetings and social functions, but they can't get involved in meeting for business because business has to be decided by the members of the meeting. And a visitor is someone who just is visiting. But it could be like your fifth visit, but you're not truly part of the meeting. There you go. How's that?
You have to pay to be a member, and can you like resign?
Oh. No, sorry. The R was actually in that you'd have to pay. No, you don't have to pay to be a member. But once a year, it is encouraged for Quakers to give what they can in order to help the upkeep of the running of Quakers in Britain, which is the overall thing. So there you go. And there's always a collection at the end of meeting for any kind of charitable cause. We tend to have like a charitable cause of the month in most meetings. In smaller meetings, I think have a charitable cause of the year. So whatever you can at the end of meeting, you put into the little collection pot, and that goes towards whatever the charity is. And there's always a box in the meeting house, which is just for the upkeep of the building itself. So if you're walking past and you're like, there's a ruddy, massive hole in the ceiling there, I'm going to write a check and pop it in this box, then you are very welcome to do so. What is the other one? Can you resign from being a member? Yes, you can. It's very sad. But yes, you just follow much the same process as becoming a member. You just write and say that you'd like to withdraw your membership. And then you meet with some of the elders and they say, you know, why is this happening? Is it because we're not doing well by you? Is there something that we're not doing well enough that you need us to change? And if you just say, no, I'm just not really feeling Quakerism anymore, I don't think it's for me, or like I've decided to go off and do something else, got my own religion, then they're like, okay. And again, it comes up before meeting for business, and they're like, oh, that's a shame, but okay, if that's what's right for the person. Did you hear that? Did that make a noise?
What, your foot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Just clicking the cramp out my foot. Ow. Okay, a bit better now. That's good.
Wow, you're ready for a hard question from a sponsor and a live chat. Super chat, sorry.
Oh.
But it's well, I don't know if it's difficult. I don't
Go for it.
know.
Go for it. I'm so excited by the poppers, guys.
Okay, I'm gonna do the popper and then
People
I'm gonna
need to
ask
do
the
more poppers
question.
because this is just fabulous. I want to put this all around my house.
I'm gonna pop in and show my hair for this little bit.
Can we just look at Clara's
Hello.
hair? It's so good.
Sorry, guys. Yay!
It's beautiful.
All right. So, if Quakerism wasn't okay with gay marriage,
Wait, start again?
sorry, if Quakerism wasn't okay with gay marriage,
Yes.
the question is church or Claudia?
Oh, okay. Well, why would I be part of a religion that is not okay with who I am? I would be like, bye. I'm off. I believe that God and I can have our own talks, thanks. And God made me, and God thinks I'm pretty great. So, I was born gay. I obviously would. Well, that's pretty much the answer to that question, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's not necessarily choosing Claudia. It would be choosing myself. Thank you.
Strong lady, I like
Yeah, you do what's right for you. Don't let anyone break you down. Oops, so sorry. Just adjusting.
Yes. I know you will keep this family friendly, but these people there's so many questions.
Yes.
Gender abuse and sex before and after marriage and all that.
Okay. Gemma, this was one of Claudia's biggest concerns on our first date. She was like, deafness, whatever. Disabled, whatever. I can deal with all that. Who cares? Do you drink and do you have sex before marriage? No to the first one. Basically, the idea of Quakerism is that much like everything else we do, we should not be injuring other people in any way, and especially not playing with them emotionally. So, it is very important with your sexuality. What are you doing? Sorry, that's not to me. I was distracted. It's very important with your sexuality that you use it and you express yourself in a way that does not cause harm to you and does not cause harm to any other person. If you are off happily, you can have sex with many, many different people as long as emotionally you are okay with that, as long as physically you're being very safe, and as long as none of these other people are getting their emotions tied up and twisted and played with in any way, that's fine. You do you. But just make sure that everyone is okay and everyone knows what they're doing. That's pretty much it. And equally, I personally, my personal choices, moving away from the general to the particular, I very much wanted to only ever sleep with the person that I was going to marry. Or, well, I really only wanted ever to have sex with someone if I truly, deeply loved them. That was just that was just me. Other people have different interpretations. Again, just make sure that no one's getting hurt. There are polyamorous Quakers, actually. I'll come into it. But polyamorous people are very careful about people's emotions. If they're not, then they're not truly polyamorous people. They're just people who like to hurt other people, but pretend to be caring. Stevie told me that. I think Stevie told me that.
Mm-hmm.
Stevie told me that. There you
go. This was a super chat question as well.
Super chat question?
Oh, it's a deep one. Can you talk about Quakers' awesome role in the abolishment of slavery? Keep it brief. Abolishment of slavery. Abolition, sorry.
Can you talk? Well, there's a whole section. Let's open it up, shall we? Quaker faith and practice. Here, now I'm going through the front. Everything's at the back. Very confusing book, this sometimes. Essentially, slavery, bad. Abolition, see slavery. Oh, thanks. Discuss amongst yourselves for a minute while I try to get to the section because I don't want to say the wrong thing. Although I know the basics, obviously. Abolition of slavery is in. This is a very confusing book because it does not have page numbers because obviously it gets printed very often and in different sizes. So they're just different testimonies and you get a testimony number. Oh my God, right. Where are you? Where are you? Okay, great. This is a massive section.
I could just throw.
Oh my God. Who wants their own video on Quakerism and the role of Quakers in the abolition of slavery? Yeah? Who wants that? Okay. In brief, Quakers did not agree with slavery because we believe that all people are equal, whatever their race, whatever their shade of their skin, wherever they come from, we are all equal. And no man has the right to own any other man. It's very gendered language, but it's from the 1600s. Quote. And although to start with, some Quakers did own slaves, because generally at that time, obviously, the prevailing idea was that slaves were not people. They were animals. So some people who had originally owned slaves then did come to Quakerism and realized that what they had been doing was wrong and therefore gave up their slaves to their freedom. And many Quakers helped to set up, not even helped to set up, I believe they did. They set up the Underground Railroad, which helped in America to get slaves from the South to the North, where they could be free. I must say, I do think American Quakers will know a lot more about this. But Quakers in Britain also were very involved in the abolition of slavery. Obviously in England, we abolished slavery 100 years before America did, I think. And that was largely driven by campaigns from Quakers. We're very involved. We're very loud when we need to be. Very quiet the other times. We're very loud when we need to be. And there were many kind of adventures and wonderful things, and I have kind of them half remembered in my brain. I don't want to say, tell you a wonderful story and then it's not all right. I want to make a video about it. Who wants a video about that? I find it fascinating. I really love making videos about history. I'm a bit of a history obsessive, as you can see from my ridiculous number of historical fiction books. Oh, you can't see. No, Clara said you can't see. Anyway, to this side of me, there's a pile. There's a pile. Okay, was that good enough?
Yeah, it's been an hour, by the way.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Does that deserve a popper? Can I just have a popper?
Yes, why don't you do one? Go.
Oh. Okay, are we ready? Oh, that smells so nice.
Yes, literally like gunpowder.
Oh my God. Okay, someone else do a super chat thing so that Clara will give me another popper because I enjoyed that immensely. Oh no, okay, there you go. Excellent. Right. Any other questions?
There's many of them, but definitely yes to the wedding video.
Oh, yes to the wedding Quakerism video.
And people were really into the slavery Quakers relationships.
Well, that's good to know. I would really, really like to make some historical videos.
It sounds like a video to fall asleep with.
Did you hear that? Sounds like a video to fall asleep with.
Because you're boys.
No, I'll give you that, actually. Did you know, fun fact, I once won a talent competition by putting everyone to sleep. Genuinely. I sat on the stage with a microphone and read children's books about a squirrel who went hunting for mouse and married them. And everyone fell asleep. And then when they were woken up for the next act, they were very unhappy. So I won the talent competition. There you go. Yeah, I've actually been thinking about making videos that you could just use to fall asleep with. Like anti-anxiety videos, really. Really long videos. So when you're feeling really stressed, you could just listen to my video about the history of bamboo or something. And then you'd feel really good about yourself. Should I do that? Is that a main channel thing? I don't have another channel. Don't know why I said main channel. Should I make another channel? There we go. That's good. Did we get another popper?
Yes, because I missed it before, and Dee Dee kindly reminded me.
Thank you. Okay, are we ready? Are we ready? Oh. Hey. Yes, I'm 5. I know. This is so fun. This is really making up for my cramp, I must say.
Literally, there was another super chat. This super chat is just for a popper. So there you go. Keep it on going.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Oh. Hey. Oh. So good. Floor's gonna come home tonight and be like, what the hell have you done? Just, it's love, darling. I'm covered in love.
That is a great ending for this.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me in my little conversation of love with the poppers. I mean, let's all be honest, the poppers were the best bit. But I'm glad that we also got to discuss some history and religion and a bit more about Quakerism. And I'm very much looking forward to making nice, calming, relaxing videos about Quakerism that interest me, but you can fall asleep to. You're welcome. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm looking forward to our next live stream. Clara, come, say goodbye.
All right.
With your face.
With my face. All right. What else? You unplugged.
Come, bestie. Oh no, the computer might die.
No. Plugging it back. There we go.
Okay, she's back. Come on, jump in.
Hi. Yes, I'm in. Hello.
Oh, everyone's coming. There we go. This is so nice.
On the floor after the poppers. They came sad with me.
It's okay. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
I have had such a good time.
Yeah.
We're going to do another live stream. We said we'd do one every month, didn't we?
Yeah, we should.
So we're going to. There will be another one next month. Ta-da! Also, don't forget, I'll be at Summer in the City very soon. So if you're going to Summer in the City, you have to come and see me and say hi. I'll be on the Women Online panel on Saturday and the Disabilities and Disfigurement on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'll be there and I'll just be wandering around as well. You can just wave. I'll probably at some point tweet, I'm here. Come say hi.
Yes.
And then you can come and say hi. And I'm going to give you a sticker because I have stickers.
And Pride is before that.
Yeah, and Pride's before that. If you're coming to Brighton Pride, I will definitely see you there.
Yes. I'll be there too.
Yay! We're going to be so gay and glittery and rainbow. It's going to be excellent.
Yes.
We'll have poppers as well. I've decided
to go around.
We must now have poppers for all occasions.
It was fun. Thanks, everyone. Really appreciate it. Obviously, everything goes to support the channel and Jessica mainly. And the dogs. They eat a lot.
Thank you for having fun with me. That is all.